So welcome to the next lecture in electrical machines. We were discussing the DC machines, and in this lecture we are going to focus our discussion on armature winding. So in the first lecture we have seen how the armature winding are connected through the commutator segments, the terminals coming out of the winding, and here you have the armature winding, and here you have the commutator, and this is connected with the two brushes, and you have some slots in the armature which are holding the armature winding. So at the outer periphery of an armature core, slots are cut. Now in these slots, number of conductors are placed which are connected with each other in proper arrangement, forming series parallel path depending upon the requirement. So armature core will have some slots, and in these slots the conductors will be placed which are connected in the form of series parallel path depending upon the requirement. This arrangement of connection is known as the armature winding. So to understand the armature winding schemes, it is desirable to have an idea of certain number of terms. So first we will see what is a conductor. So conductor is basically the length of the wire that is embedded in the armature core and lying within the magnetic field is called the conductor. So it is basically a wire which is present in the armature core and it is lying in the magnetic field. So it may be having one or more parallel strands. So conductor present in the slots of the armature can have one or more parallel strands. So total number of conductors in the armature winding are represented by the symbol Z. Now the next term that we'll take is turn. So two conductors lying in a magnetic field connected in a series at the back so that EMF induced in them is additive is known as the turn. So when two conductors we take and they connect at the back so that the field or the EMF is additive, then that is known as the turn. So here we can see that how the two conductors are connected together to form one turn. So this is a single turn and which is connected to the commutator segment. So these are basically the commutator segments, and here you can see the multi-turn coil which have the number of conductors which are connected back to back to form the different number of turns. Now what is a coil? A coil may be single turn coil having only two conductors, or it may be having multi-turn coil having more than two conductors. A three-turn coil is shown. So in this case we are basically showing a three-turn coil. So coil can be of single turn or multi-turn coil. And here you can see the coil side, how it is connected, and some material are given between the two coil sides. Okay, so now if you have a commutator with a multi-turn coil and a single line diagram is being shown. So the bunch of three conductors may be wrapped by the cotton tape before placing the slot of the armature. So this is basically the cotton tape that is present before placing in the slots of the armature. So multi-turn coil can be represented by single line diagram, and multi-turn coils are used to develop higher voltage. So instead of single turn coil we can prefer multi-turn coil in order to increase the level of the voltage. So when the armature conductors are more, it is not feasible to use single turn coil. So if the armature conductors are more, you will not use the single turn coil because it will require large number of commutated segments, and if used it will not give sparkless commutation. So when armature conductors are more, we do not prefer single turn coil, rather than we go for multi-turn coil. So it will not be economical due to the use of more copper in the end connection. So that copper requirement will increase and obviously the cost will increase. Now the term C will be represented for the coils in the armature winding. What is coil side? Each coil, whether it is a single turn or a multi-turn, has two sides called coil sides. So there will be two sides in a particular coil, which is coil sides, and both the coil sides are embedded in two different slots as per the winding design, nearly a pole pitch apart. So that is a pole pitch we tell. So there will be two coil sides, and each coil sides will be embedded in two different slots. What is a coil group? So a group of coils may have one or more coils. So that is known as coil group. What is a winding? When number of coils group are arranged on the armature in a particular fashion as per the design, it is called an armature winding. So coil groups are arranged in a particular fashion, that is known as the armature winding. Then there will be an inductance effect. So the coils will have some inductance effect as the current in them is changing. So when the coils are there, then they, due to the change of the current di by dt, there will be some inductance effect. Due to the inductance effect, the flow of current is opposed, causing reduction in the resultant output voltage. So due to the change in the current and due to the inductance effect, there will be a loss which is in the form of reduction of the resultant output voltage. Now, overhanging of the end connection have some adverse effect due to inductance. So if there is an overhanging in the end connection of the coil, then it will have an adverse effect on the inductance. So what are front end and back end connection? A wire that is used to connect end of a coil at the front to the commutator segment is called front end connector. So when it is connected to the front of the commutator, then it is known as front end connector. Now, whereas a wire that is used to connect one coil side to the other coil side at the back, it is called back end connector. So we have seen what is a front end connector and what is a back end connector. Now this is a very important term, what is known as pole pitch. So it is defined as the number of armature slots per pole. So how many slots are there under the effect of a per pole, that is known as the pole pitch. So it may also be defined as the number of armature conductors per pole, because the slots will carry the conductor. So how many armature conductors are there under per pole, that is also a pole pitch. Now for example, if you take 36 conductor for 4 poles, then pole pitch will be 36 by 4, that is 9 conductor under the effect of per pole. So what is back pitch then? So the distance in terms of the number of armature conductors between the first and the last conductor of the same coil, that is the distance between the two coil sides of the same coil, is called back pitch. So what is the distance between two coil sides of the same coil? So you have the same coil and we measure the distance between the two coil sides, that is known as the back pitch. So back pitch is also called coil span or coil spread, and it is denoted by YB. So we have an important term, pole pitch and back pitch, which is also known as coil span or coil spread. Now here we know that armature winding can be a lap winding or a wave winding. So this figure shows the progressive lap winding and retrogressive lap winding, and we have a wave winding. So wave winding will always move forward, so there is no point of discussion here. However, in lap winding it can be progressive or it can be retrogressive. So you see the center to center distance is known as the commutator pitch, and we have something called front pitch, resultant pitch, and you have the back pitch. So back pitch is basically the distance between the back to back of the winding, and front pitch is the distance between the two ends of the winding which are connected to the commutator. So we will see these all things. So what the front pitch, the distance in terms of the number of armature conductors or number of slots between second conductor of one coil and the first conductor of the next coil, which are connected in the same commutator segment on the front, is called front pitch, denoted by YF. So here the main point of understanding in front pitch is that then you will be having one is the second conductor of one coil and the first conductor of the next coil. So the distance whatever we measure from the second conductor to the first conductor, then it is in the known as the front pitch, which is denoted by YF, and it should be in the same commutator segment. Resultant pitch is basically the distance in terms of the number of armature conductor or number of slots between the start of one coil and the start of the next coil to which it is connected is called the resultant pitch. Okay, now the commutator pitch, the distance measured in terms of commutator segment between the segment to which the two ends of the coils are connected, that is commutator pitch. So these terms are very important in order to understand the armature winding connection. So what is front pitch, resultant pitch and commutator pitch. Now coil span or coil pitch, the distance in terms of the number of armature conductor or number of slots between two sides of the same coil. So we are taking the same coil and the distance we are measuring and between the two coil sides of the same coil, that is coil span or coil pitch. Coil span may be equal to or less than or more than the pole pitch. So coil span and pole pitch relation can be equal, less or more. So accordingly, the coils are known as full pitch winding, short pitch winding or over pitch coil. So if it is equal, then it is known as full pitch. If it is more less, then it is known as short pitch. If it is more, then it is known as over pitched. So for instance, let us take an example. When pole pitch is say 4, let us example of a pole pitch of 4, one side of a coil A is placed in slot number 1 and the other side will be placed in slot number 4. So if you have any commutator segment, so if you take the commutator segment, then you take a slot number 1 and the slot number 5. So the conductor will be connected in such a way that the pole pitch will be 4 and the coil span will be 5 minus 1, that is equal to 4, which is equal to the pole pitch. Hence coil A is called the full pitch coil. So in this case the coil is full pitch because the coil's pole pitch is 4 and the coil span is also 4, so it is known as full pitch coil. Whereas in case of coil B, the coil span is 6 minus 3, which is 3, which is less than the pole pitch. This coil is called short pitch coil. So when the coil span is less than the pole pitch, it is known as short pitched coil. So we can see the full pitch and short pitch winding which are present in the armature slot. So these are the armature slots and these are the end connections that are coming up with the help of commutator slots. So when the coils are full pitch, the induced EMF in a coil is the arithmetic sum of the EMF induced in the two sides of the same coil since the coil are displaced by 180-degree electrical. So under the condition of full pitch, when you try to determine the induced EMF, it will be arithmetic sum of the two EMF. So E1 plus E2, the arithmetic sum, because it is displaced by 180-degree. The two sides of the same coil are placed at similar position of two adjacent poles, that is the north and the south pole. So full pitch coil, when we see the two sides of the same coil, they are placed in adjacent of the two poles, that is the north and the south. Now let us discuss the short pitch coil and the over pitch coil. Then the resultant induced EMF is reduced because the two sides will fall under the influence of the same pole at some instant. So when we were discussing the full pitch coil, we have seen that the induced EMF is arithmetic and it is more. However, for short pitch and over pitch coils, the induced EMF will reduced. Okay, so at this instance, the induced EMF on the two sides will oppose each other. So here it was additive in nature. So in this case it is additive. Here it is reducing because it is opposing the EMF. Now the advantage of short pitch winding is that, so why we are using short pitch winding even it is producing less EMF, is that the copper used for the end connection is reduced substantially, which is reducing the cost of the machine. So short pitch winding will require less copper, hence there will be saving of the cost. It will also improve the term commutation. So commutation will improve reduction of sparking at the brushes because inductance of overhang connections is reduced. So it will improve the commutation. So commutation will be improved. Reduction of sparking at the brushes. So when we use short pitch winding, the cost will be reduced and the commutation will improve. Now it reduces the copper losses and improve the efficiency to some extent. So you are saving the cost, and due to the reduction of the copper losses, efficiency is also improving. Now many a time short pitch winding is used. Because of these advantages whatever we have discussed for the short pitch coil, many a times you will be using short pitch winding. So degree of reentrant of an armature winding. There can be single reentrant or multi-reentrant armature winding. So while tracing through a winding, once if all the armature conductors are included on returning to the starting point, the winding is called single reentrant winding. So when you have the tracing through a winding, all armature conductors are included on returning to the starting point. This winding is called single reentrant winding. It will be double reentrant if only half of the conductors are included in tracing through the winding ones. So if it is half, then it is double reentrant. So we'll discuss the types of armature winding. So the winding, continuous or closed armature winding, can be two types. One is known as the Graham ring winding, another is drum winding. So these are the two classification of the closed armature winding, Graham ring and drum winding. This Graham ring type of armature winding is an early form of armature winding. Early days we were using this Graham ring winding. The winding is replaced by more efficient drum type of winding. So we do not use Graham type of winding, we use drum type because it is more efficient. So what are the disadvantage of Graham type armature winding? Only half the coil was available to link with the pole flux. So only half of the coil is available, so it will not produce enough EMF. The other half of the portion of the winding was lying inside the core, which was used only as connectors, and so there was a wastage of copper. So half the coil was used, other half was not used, there is loss of copper. As each turn was to pass through the center of the core, therefore it was difficult to wind and require more labor. So more labor is required, which was again costlier. Maintenance and repairs is costly. So both repairs and maintenance are basically costly. Insulation of the winding was also difficult. So there is a problem with the insulation. So for the same pole flux and armature velocity, the EMF induced in the ring winding was half of that of induced in the drum winding, having same number of coils. So these all disadvantages that we are discussing, if you see, a lot of disadvantages are there. Even the construction was having a large air gap. You will be having large air gaps, so stronger field excitation was required to produce the required flux. You will require more current to produce the flux. So lot of disadvantages are there for the Graham ring type of winding. So nowadays we do not use this ring type of winding, rather we move to drum type of winding. So drum type of winding, conductors are housed in slot cut over the armature surface and connected to one another at the front and back through the connector. So whatever the winding we are discussing, where the conductors are having a slot and you are connecting the coil sides front and back, that are basically the drum type of winding. And here whole of the copper are used active except the end connector, which cut the flux and therefore is active in generating the EMF. The coil can be preformed and insulated before placing on the armature. So there is no insulation problem while reducing the construction cost. Even the construction cost can be reduced. So drum winding may be either single layer or double layer winding. So there can be single layer winding or double layer winding. Single layer winding, only one conductor or one coil side is placed in each armature slot. So per slot you will be having one conductor or one coil side. It is rarely used because of its more cost. So single layer winding is rarely used because the cost will be more. In two layer winding, there are two conductors or coil side per slot, and you will be having two conductors and arranged in two layers. Then it is mostly employed because of economy reason. So single layer windings are not used, two layers windings are used. The turns may be bound together with cotton tape. So cotton tape are used to, all the turns are be bounding together. The ends are left bare to solder them to the commutator segment. So whatever the ends we will be getting of the coil, that will be bare because it will be connected to the commutator segments. So commutator segments, it will be connected together. The coils are then dipped into some insulating compound such as asphalt and then dried. So it is dipped in some insulating compound asphalt and is dried. So if the machine is to be operated at higher temperature, other materials such as mica or paper tape, fiberglass tape, silicone impregnated insulation may be used when it has to operated for higher temperature, because higher temperature operation will require more insulation. Before placing the coils in the slot, liners of leatherite are placed to ensure mechanical properties. Now, mechanical properties has to be improved, so some liner of leatherite are used provided to the coils. After dropping the coils into the slot, wedges of wood or hard fiber are driven to hold them in place. So these are all of the construction of the drum type winding that we oftenly used in terms of the insulation, in terms of the mechanical properties. We try to improve the construction. So we obtain a maximum voltage at full pitch winding. So when full pitch winding will be used, maximum voltage will be obtained. The span may be reduced to much as 8/10 of the full pitch without any serious reduction in the induced EMF. So the span, coil span, whatever you use, it can be reduced up to 8/10 of the pole pitch without affecting any of the induced EMF. So when this done, the winding is called short pitch. So you can reduce the short pitch winding to a level of 8/10 or fractional pitch also it is told. Usually one side of every coil lies in the top of one slot and other side lies in the bottom of the some other slot at a distance of approximately one pole pitch along the armature. So what happened? You are taking one side of every coil and it is placed at the top of one slot and the other side is placed at the bottom of other slot. So this we will see how the placement will be done. Thus, at least two coil sides occupy each slot. So, two coil sides will be their particular slot of the winding. Such winding in which two coil sides occupy each slot are most commonly used for the medium size machine. So, when we are using any medium size machine, this type of winding are preferable when you are using two coil sides. In case of large machine, more coil sides are placed in a single slot. So if you have a medium size, only two coil side. If you have a large machine, more coil sides will be used. Placing of several elements in a single slot gives fewer slots than segment which have the following advantages. So by providing more conductors in one slot. So what are the advantage of placing more conductor in one slot? The number of slot will be decreased and the number of slot is reduced. The armature core teeth become mechanically stronger to bear the stress. So slot will decrease and it will become mechanically stronger. Number of commutator segment is increased. So commutator segment will increase. The voltage between segment adjacent to each other will decrease and the number of turns of wire in the coil connected to adjacent segment also decrease. So commutator segment number is increased and the voltage which is there between segment adjacent to each other will decrease and the number of wires in the coil connected to the adjacent segment also decrease. These result there is less sparking at the commutator because of improved commutation. Now, what is commutation? We will discuss more into detail, but here you will understand that there will be less sparking and the overall cost of construction is reduced. So cost will be also reduced. So here the drum type winding can be of two type. One is lap winding and wave winding. We do not use the ring type of winding. So you can just see that this is the upper layer in slot number 1 and the lower layer in slot number 2. So in that case the two conductors are there under per slot. So this is your per slot, sorry, this is your per slot and two upper layer is there and bottom layer is there. This is upper coil side, this is lower coil side. However, if 6 conductors are placed per slot, so this is your per slot, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 6 conductors are basically placed per slot. This becomes the upper layer and this becomes the lower layer. So if two conductors are placed, this one whatever we discuss per slot, then you can see the upper layer and the bottom layer in a particular slot and how the connection will be there. If four conductors are there, then a particular slot you will be having four conductors. Each slot you are having four conductors. So this is way by which the conductors are placed in the armature slots, and then we do not use the ring type of winding, rather drum type of winding is used nowadays, which is divided into lap winding and wave winding. So in the next lecture we will focus on the lap winding and wave winding. Thank you.